provision of electric power is the cornerstone of national development. Electricity plays a critical role in the growth of all key sectors of the economy. As the leading electric power generating company in Kenya, producing over 80% of electricity consumed in the country, KenGen has a pivotal role in realizing the country's aspired development. The company generates electricity from various sources, including hydro, geothermal, thermal, and wind. Hydro is the leading source with an installed capacity of over 600 megawatts. KenGen sells the power it generates in bulk to the Kenya Power and Lighting Company for distribution to all categories of consumers. With a workforce of 1,829 staff distributed in 20 different sites where its power plants are located, the company continues to dedicate some of its profit earnings to corporate social responsibility.
KenGen has got a very elaborate CSR policy, and the reason why we wanted to set this policy is so that we can foster cordial relationship with the communities around where we operate, and to address some of the issues which affect those communities. As you are possibly aware, we have about 18 power stations across the whole country. So we have a lot of communities around those projects. Some of them were done a long time ago, and obviously the communities get affected by those projects. And there are many other issues within the communities that we as a corporate would be keen to address.
KenGen CSR programs aim at enhancing the standards of living for those close to high installations, among other national and charitable causes.
It is in the interest of the company to ameliorate the living standards of those who live near or around our plants. That is why, in our corporate social responsibility, we invest heavily in the welfare of those people.
KenGen focuses our CSR activities mainly on education, provision of quality water and healthcare, environmental conservation, sports, and peace building. Water is life, but in spite of the importance of this commodity, its scarcity is felt in many arid and semi-arid areas of Kenya. In the rural areas, women and children trek long distances in search of water, which at times is unsafe for human consumption. Provision of water is one of KenGen's key CSR programs. The company has established community water collection points from her own water supply system or developed water distribution and storage infrastructure, including construction of sand dams along the tributaries that empty in the Seven Forks dams.
Maji tulikuwa tunatumia ilikuwa maji chafu, kwa vile tulikuwa tukitoa kwa mto, maji chumvi, ilikuwa ikitusaidia wakati huo. Lakini wakati KenGen ilikuja huku ikatufanyia vizuri, ikatupatia maji.
KenGen has invested in what we call sand dams. Basically, sand dams serve two purposes. One is to check the siltation into our reservoirs. And the second one, which has had a major impact on the population and the community around the dams, is to provide, again, clean water because it percolates through the sand. So far, we've been able to do various sand dams on both sides of the river. For example, we have the Kangu, we have Oya, and these have helped the communities. Instead of going all the way to the river to take their cows there, they are able to now just take them to the sand dam areas, and that has really had a major impact.
Many community water projects have been started around the Eastern Hydros, Olkaria, Sondu and Tarkwell.
Wakati KenGen imekuja, sasa tunapata maji rahisi hapa kwa KenGen. Eneo wote
tunapata maji yenye imetibiwa, pesa tunapata, wenye hawana kazi wanapata kazi.
In Nyanza, the Sondu Miriu Water Project has transformed the lives of more than 20,000 residents of Kakungutu West, Lower Kathoch, Kakumu, Upper Kathoch, Kabuya East, Gari, Andingo, and West Kadianga locations, following the sinking of 6 boreholes on the banks of River Sondu.
There is a project of about 140 million shillings that has seen 6 boreholes sunk in the left side of the river Sondu bank, and from which a number of families depend on. Actually, about 40,000 residents of Kabondo are drawing water from these boreholes. And on the right side of the river also we have a water project which is catering for Nyakach people in the depleted part of the river.
On various projects in the area, women's groups run water kiosks to raise funds for maintenance of the system in case of breakdown. Water pumps have also been installed along the Sondu Power Station outlet channel to enable residents access water without getting close to the first running water of the channel. The supply of water to East Senator School in Narok and other areas around the KenGen's geothermal project has enabled many residents access water for both human and livestock consumption. The improvement of the quality and standard of education in primary, secondary and university levels is also a key corporate social responsibility initiative. This is in recognition of the fact that the company is a beneficiary of the country's education system, where it draws its labor from. The company supports infrastructure development of education institutions, including construction of classrooms and other facilities, provision of learning materials and equipment, as well as offering scholarships to bright, needy students, mainly from neighboring communities.
We sincerely believe that by investing heavily in education, we are enabling people to attain better standards of living in the future. One educated child in a family can transform an entire family.
The scholarship program, which commenced in 2005, has provided bright, disadvantaged children with an opportunity to change their lives by meeting all their tuition and boarding fees while in high school or university.
From about 2005, we also thought of re-looking at other CSR projects which could have a longer-term impact on the communities around where we operate. And this is why we came up with a scholarship scheme where we provide scholarship for the best boy and girl for any of the primary schools around where we operate, in primary school and also in high school, going to university. And currently we have about 80 children in high school that we are sponsoring, and about 70 students in the university that we are sponsoring throughout their term in university.
There are some students who are learning in the school who hail from the village. Since the school is both day and boarding, they can access to quality education from the school at a low-cost fee because of that day sector. It is a darling of everybody because nobody expected this. Somebody like me would have a first-hand appreciation because I learned here when we didn't even have water. The school has employed people from the village. Right now we have about 60 non-teaching staff, so that has offered employment.
Environmental changes have an enormous impact on human and other forms of life. Challenges posed by global warming effects as a result of environmental degradation have the potential to slow down the overall national economic growth. As a responsible corporate citizen, KenGen attaches great importance to the enhancement of a clean environment. The company's CSR program encourages and promotes various initiatives geared towards environmental conservation.
In terms of the environment, we have distributed thousands of trees free of charge to be planted with a view to increasing our forest cover, which, as you know, is below the required 10% level. So we are, in fact, contributing towards meeting the 2030 targets within our means.
The company also participates in tree planting exercises in the main water towers, water catchment areas, and delicate ecosystems around the country. Over the years, KenGen has provided millions of seedlings to communities and institutions. Healthcare is embedded in the nation's Vision 2030 initiative. And though much effort is being made to achieve healthcare to all Kenyans, as outlined in the initiative, the population is growing at a rate that outstrips the public resources allocated to the provision of health services. KenGen embraces the role of public-private partnerships in the provision of healthcare by contributing towards healthcare infrastructure, including construction and equipping of health facilities, and opening up its clinics to the communities on subsidized rates. This initiative aims at improving the well-being of vulnerable groups in remote locations.
KenGen through Sondu Miriu initiated a project for voluntary counseling and testing in one of the existing health centers. This was done especially to give access to local people as well as the project people.
For ease of access to the company installations and to enhance road communication for the neighboring communities, KenGen has greatly improved road networks in areas of operation. In this connection, several roads have been rehabilitated, providing safe and smooth passage to areas hitherto impassable.
Hii barabara unaona venye iko lamu. Tumepiga lamu mpaka huko ndani. Sawa, na tuna stima hapa kwa sababu ya hiyo KenGen.
In addition, the company has participated in the construction and electrification of community projects which have boosted the people's living standards.
Almost every home has got electricity. The roads here are well made, and water is there, which was not there initially. And employment has been there also.
KenGen also supports sports and sponsors several tournaments in various disciplines, including golf, squash, athletics, and soccer. This is out of the realization that apart from relaxing the body and mind, sports brings people together and promotes peace for the common good of all. KenGen's CSR program is a phenomenal representation of sharing profits with host communities and the nation at large. This in recognition and appreciation of all stakeholders who contribute in one way or the other to the growth of the formidable corporate citizen that the company has become over the years as an unshakable brand. KenGen will continue to expand her CSR mandate to benefit even more Kenyans.
Thank you.